The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now watching the Alan and DJ Show.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, Sun Prairie, Milwaukee, and all the surrounding areas. Welcome to the Alan and DJ TV show. And you know I'm Alan.
And this is your boy DJ.
Man, what's good, DJ?
I'm good, man.
Man, so today, man, you know, I be hearing a lot of bit of and a lot of bit of then try to involve you in a little bit of this and try to involve you in a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And you know what? All that stuff is called gossip.
Yep.
And I hate gossip. So today, we're going to give you tips on how to try to avoid gossiping, especially in the workplace, because it's just not healthy.
Oh, yeah. The first one we're going to bring up is being a positive role model.
Man, let's talk about this. So, you know, like we are positive role models to a lot of people who may even look up to us to a degree.
Yeah.
And, you know, being a positive role model to me is all about the way you carry yourself, like the way you carry with confidence moving through the workplace, the way you try to avoid trouble at all costs, the way you lead. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be different points in life where you have to be a leader. And we talked about that previously on certain shows where being a leader matters. And to me, that creates a perfect work environment, because if you're leading by example, and I'm like, man, I like the way he don't get into no trouble, or like, man, I like the way DJ carry himself, then that's going to help me out as well. You know what I'm saying? Because he's leading by example.
Yeah. And for me, being a positive role model is basically like being a good example in the workplace, and also just trying to just avoid gossip in general. Also, what I do is I stay busy working. The more you work, the less you're into stuff, basically. And like you try to keep out of stuff at work, and you should never gossip. Like men should never gossip.
Most definitely.
That's something that women do. Like if you don't want to be identified as a woman, then don't gossip.
And you know, it looks bad. It really does. You know, and you know, like when people try to come to me about, yo, Al, have you heard about this? Or Al, they saying this about you, or Al, man, they saying that about you and DJ, man. We be like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, like, and I find ways to just avoid it. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. And then like, I would hurry up and kind of spin the subject, which leads me into number 2.
Yeah. Keep
your private life private.
Yeah.
Now, I know to a degree we have to promote our show, and, you know, we have to be social influencers and all that. But the show and all that stuff is what you're going to know about. And everybody know we ain't lying, because that's all we like really post about. But when it comes to like my private life, on who I might be dating, or you know, like the type of income that you're bringing in, it's nobody's personal business, because once you start to do that, you start to attract gossip, and it's just like, you know, it's not cool.
Yeah. And what you want to do is, man, just stop telling people about your life outside of work. Because what happens is you tell somebody something about your life or your personal life, and especially if it's something bad, what'll happen is like that person will probably use that as ammunition to basically, or use it against you to basically try to sabotage you, or they'll use it against you in some type of way to try to make themselves better.
And then, you know, like, to me, I really try to stay away from like gossiping and keeping my life private when it comes to like the personal stuff, because too much personal information that you could be sharing with somebody, and even with coworkers to a degree, that can get gossip started. Yeah. And then you'd be like, okay, like, how did that get out? You know what I'm saying? Like, I only told that particular person. So that's going to make me challenge that particular person. Like, I'm going to come to you very professionally. Hey, I would like to talk to you for a minute. Could we step out in the hallway? Man, like, you know, what's going on with that? You know, like I told you something that was very personal to me, and I held that very dearly. And you exploiting, you know what I'm saying, like my personal business, and I don't appreciate that. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it. Any way you want to handle it, we can handle it. But we could try to be more professional about it, because once again, people are viewing you, people are looking at you. You have to lead by example. So I can't tell you to do nothing that I wouldn't do. So, most likely, probably, like stay away from the stuff that be like in your workplace. 'Cause there's a lot of gossiping at my workplace.
Yeah.
And I just try to stay out of that, and I try to avoid that much as possible, because easy for your name to get sucked into it. Or like, even if somebody arguing with each other, don't be standing around it, get away from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's one thing I'm not finna do is get into no statement writing or nothing like that, because that's snitching, dude. Like, I don't get into none of that. I just remove myself from the situation, because if you do that, then you just you're guilty by association.
Yeah. And how I practice this is the less people know about you, the less information that can be used against you.
There you go.
And it also helps you to stay mysterious. Like, the less people know, the less they want to know.
For sure.
If that makes sense.
For sure.
So basically what that means is, like, if they don't know that much about you and you're not telling them that much information, it's going to formulate curiosity.
Yeah.
And when it formulates curiosity, it's going to draw them to you even faster.
Most definitely. Like, even when it comes to this point right here that I want to bring up a lot, DJ, because people could feel like they could confide in people maybe to a degree. So I try not to vent to people as much. And the reason why I try not to vent to people as much, because people use that against you.
Yeah.
And you be like, man, Dirty, hold on a minute. I thought you was my friend. Like, I told you that in confidence. Like, I thought that I could trust you.
Yeah.
So now that I'm venting to you, this is what we doing to each other, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, and that's just me to a degree, I really try not to vent, because it's not worth it, man. Like, if it ain't your day ones, somebody that like you could trust, or maybe certain family members, man, hold that stuff in. Or like, if you're gonna talk to somebody, because sometimes I get it, we have things that we just need to get off our chest sometimes, right?
Absolutely.
Go around the outskirts of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to get too deep, because then you just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, especially in the workplace. You definitely don't want to do that. Like, if you want to vent, like vent to like your family, vent to like your friends, vent to like a therapist. Like, that's what they're there for.
Exactly.
Don't ever vent to like your coworkers, man, because like nowadays in this day and age, you don't know who to trust in your workplace.
Nah, man, you don't.
Yep. What it does is also, like, when you vent, it leaves you in a vulnerable state. And then it leaves you in a helpless state to be talked about in not only a good way, but also a bad way.
Agree.
And like I said, talk to your friends, talk to your therapist about it. Like, you're basically in a place of business, so don't nobody want to hear that type of stuff. They just stay focused on what you need to focus on. And if you are going through any type of sadness or anything like that, like, don't lash out and say nothing about it. Just work through it, because like, at the end of the day, don't nobody really care.
Nobody care about your personal problems at the end of the day. And that's just the harsh truth of reality. Like, don't nobody care, G. Nobody. So you speaking fast. I just do it. Calm down, my G. This is all good. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like, don't nobody care about your problems, man. And, that's where people go wrong at. They find this stuff that they hear, they go run to the next person, and then, like, somebody could be just going through something, and you don't know how messy this person could be, so you vent it to them.
Yep.
Yeah, and, like, this going wrong, and then, like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent and this and that. Oh, girl, because you notice, like, when you got sad stuff going on, a lot of people give you a lot of likes on Instagram, Facebook, you name it. You get a whole bunch of likes. Stay strong. I know you're going through it. Girl, I believe in you, and all this other stuff, right? But the moment that you got something good going on, you get a lot of views, but the likes don't match up with the views. What's up with that? So, what you vented to people, you know what I'm saying, and you thinking like this person is your friend, or like, I could trust this person, and hey, like, look, man, I got this going on. Dirty, I'm stressed out. I'm like, man, like, how I'm gonna get through it? And you thinking that person, you could really trust them, but then they just hit a 180. Then all of a sudden, now you going back, you hearing your stuff getting out, or people snickering and laughing at you. You like, man, Dirty, like, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, like, that's just me, my personal opinion. I try not to vent to nobody. But order to do that, let's stop identifying triggering situations.
Yeah, Al, before we go off into that, like, I'm gonna go back to try not to vent.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you an example of like why you should not vent to people.
Tell them, DJ. Tell them, DJ.
Yeah. Like the example is like I recently like ran into somebody, and I'm not gonna say like this where the situation was at, because if I say where the situation is at, it's gonna basically, and the people that's watching the show basically gonna know who I'm talking about. So to keep that identity withheld, or not to get that person like shamed in the public eye, like I'm gonna keep the situation to a minimum. So the situation that happened is like this person came up to me and he was telling me about like his moving situation or whatever, and it's like, you can confide in me about anything, but I was trying to tell him also, like, you had to be careful too, man, because like whoever you told, now it's out, because a lot of you, like whoever you told is out. Like you could confide in me, and I never told that situation to nobody, but you had to tell multiple people, because now people coming up to me and saying, hey, did you hear such and such? He's homeless and he doesn't have a place to stay. And I'm like,
yeah,
where you hear that from? They was like, well, this person told me. And I'm like, oh, okay. But then I'm thinking in my head, like, bro, that's not good. You can't leave yourself in a vulnerable spot like that, because now you're being exposed to people talking about you. Now everybody looking at you in a different light. Yeah. They probably looked at you in a better light, but now they're looking at you from a different light now. And you don't want that. And especially in a workplace, you really don't want that, because it's going to present problems later on.
Exactly. And, you know, that's one thing, man, that, you know, you really want to try to stay away from is, you know, just trying to, you know, like, we all got to talk to somebody. So we're not telling you not to vent to anybody, but just be mindful of who you're venting to.
Yeah.
Because your situation can go from 0 to 10 real quick, and then like all of a sudden you ready to fight somebody because your stuff got out there, your personal business. So just be mindful of who you venting to. But you gotta watch this too. You know what I'm saying? I'm identifying triggering situations, because it's crazy to me when the situation could be dead and gone. It's over with now, right? Now we're back to the, you know what I'm saying, doing our job. And something that happened 3 days ago, somebody bringing it right back up again. That's triggering the situation again. Mm-hmm. So now like that person, emotions are into it. So now like it's all over the place again. Now like they back into how they was feeling 3 days ago. Maybe like when they was starting to accept it and they was trying to let it go. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for triggering situations. You don't want to keep bringing us something that already happened, because then it's like you putting a Band-Aid on something, then you open the cut again. So then now like the wound is out, you know what I'm saying, bleeding again. Yeah. Which meaning that, you know, now you're getting stuff started. And it's like, dude, like dirty, yeah, let it go. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you got into an argument with somebody and you're like, yeah, you still a sucker, you know, that was my juice, and like, man, like, bro, like, man, I can't believe you still drunk my juice. Dude, let it go, dirty. You know what I'm saying? Because now you triggering the situation, and now we gonna start fighting again.
Oh yeah, you drunk my juice. I just mess with you. No, but anyway, like there are signals that people need to learn when dealing with certain situations.
Yeah.
And technically what you want to do is, when you're identifying situations, is first of all, you want to avoid conversations that specifically attack one person.
Exactly.
Because what happens with that is that person that everybody is talking about, you jump in that conversation. Now you not only involved in that conversation, but now you got witnesses to know that conversation, that's in that conversation. So when that story gets back saying that crowd of people was talking about you, they can include your name into that as well, because they not only saw you in the crowd, but you had input in the conversation.
Exactly. And it's not worth it, man.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like, I agree with DJ, and I did drink that one juice, by the way. It was good too. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was good. But but you know, It can. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, you know, like it'd be like, dude, like something that happened 3 or 4 days ago, and the situation starting to kind of like die out, the fire sizzling out a little bit. He like, man, that was crazy. You mean when I such and such about the box such and such? Man, and they got in each other's faces, and you like, Dirty, you know what? I'm too grown for that, Holmes. Like, I ain't trying to be around that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know me. I ain't trying to be around that. So I ain't with none of that sucker stuff, man. I ain't with none of that. Like, cause that's triggering the situation again.
Yep.
And then that's getting everybody else riled back up. And then you can't never let go of something that just already happened. Dirty, let it go. It happened already. Like, nobody's trying to keep doing that. Nobody don't want to keep talking about that. And I'm real big on this because this is another one that you can do. Change the subject.
Absolutely.
Change the subject. So somebody come to me like, yeah, man, DJ was killing it out there on the field, but he should have did this and did that. Hey, Dirty Little, hey, man, you know what though, dude? Matter of fact, I got to get going in a minute because I got to get ready to go film a show. But, yeah, man, you wild, boy. And back your way up out of the door and keep it moving.
And what people would do in that particular conversation is basically, before I jump off into that, I'm gonna jump back into this for just 1 second. What people would do is like when they gossip and the gossip gets back to that particular person, what happens is that person that gets confronted won't say what they technically said, but they'll know word for word what you said.
Exactly.
But when they be like, what did you say? And they'll be like, well, I just said a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And you be like, okay, can you be more specific? And they'll say, well, I just said this and that was it. And that's all I was involved in. So they try to make themselves look innocent and try to make the other person look like they're the bad guy.
And watch the ones who, to me, like the ones who pick a bone, carry a bone. Ooh. The ones who pick a bone, carry a bone. Watch the ones who's always talking about everybody else. Because you better rest assured and believe they talking about you. And that's why sometimes I just change the subject, Dirty. I be like, oh, for real, man, that's crazy. Hey, man, did you see Bronny James' game yesterday? Yeah, man, I felt like Dirty could have played a little better, though. But, you know, you got to give him time. Anything, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's, man, dog, it's crazy with that construction that they doing out there, man. Yeah, man, that's wild. Like, man, you know what? I ain't gonna lie though. Like, man, I think this place gonna be something very beautiful, man. Anything then to hear what happened yesterday and this and this, X, Y, Z, man. Dismiss me with all that, man. Bump that, Dirty. I don't want to be around none of that. That's how when stuff go down and I see it's finna go down, I'm removing myself because I told you I ain't getting involved in nobody's statements. I ain't writing no statements. That's snitching to me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I ain't getting involved in none of that. That ain't me. So I'm going to take my stripes. You know what I'm saying? If you going to do what you going to do it to me then, Dirty. Because I ain't telling on nobody.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't how I built. Like, writing a statement to me is like snitching. So, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to address the situation head on. But that's why I always say it's just best to change the subject. And if you realize you can't change the subject, leave.
Yeah, like, and what this also does is like, it basically keeps you out of the conversation when you change the subject.
Yep.
Meaning that whatever y'all was gossiping about before, like, it'll change the whole dynamic of it to where like you're not even talking about that subject anymore.
Exactly. And it changed the frequency in the room too.
Yeah, and then it also like basically manipulates the conversation to go in another angle.
There you go. There you go. You couldn't have said it better, DJ. Like it really do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yeah, DJ, and you know what I'm saying? And man, I remember what Cuz did this.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, I don't want to be involved in that.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you say, oh yeah, did you see Bronny James get off last night? And
Right.
you'd be like, bro, what?
Right.
Now
Like,
you see what I just
did?
Like, Al, you see what I just did?
Spent
like,
it off.
Like I spent it off. Oh yeah. Or they'll be like, oh yeah, I did see Bronny James play. Like, oh man, how many points he had again? Now, mind control. You alternated their mind.
Yup, like you flip the scenery, and now like you got people who are just so negative that they would keep talking about it.
Yep.
And when they keep doing that, you go be like, ah, dog, you wild, man. hey, bro, look though, bro, like man, let me go make the store run real quick though, bro. Like we'll catch up. Mm-hmm. Anything to change the subject, because you might have tried everything you can, but it just ain't working. So it's like, okay, this cat's still talking about it, or man, like, oh, why she still on that negative stuff? Like, I don't want to hear that. So you just gotta try to flip it. But when you can't flip it and they just keep talking about it, DJ, they're like, I'm like, oh, okay, bro, you wild. All right, bro, like, look, man, I'm finna go and get up out of here, though, bro. Like, man, I gotta slide on the girl, see what she want, man. Or, man, you know what, I gotta get ready to knock these bullet points off for the show.
Yep.
Get away.
Yep.
Jump out the nearest window. Please, get away. But most importantly, though, the last one I want to say, just address the gossip, man.
Yeah.
Address the gossip.
It's a good one, but it's a dangerous one too.
Yeah.
Because like what happens is when you address the person that is the one that's gossiping, it can get ugly.
Real quick.
Yeah. Or in a sense, it not only can get ugly, but it could turn the workplace upside down. And let me explain that for a split second. When you confront somebody in the workplace about what happened, first of all, the altercations can start where like y'all might go back and forth, and then eventually it might turn into fighting words, or it might turn into a physical altercation.
Oh,
but let's also put another spin on it. Like, let's say you confront that person and that person say, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Like, I apologize. But now the attention is there in the workplace. And they might even make your workload even more difficult now, because now you got not only that tension, but you got two people that just barely don't like each other now, and now they really don't like each other, but they always crossing paths. You notice like how people, like when you confront somebody that you gossiped about, you end up running across them more and more when you stop you stop talking to them.
Exactly, man. I just say, dude, you know what? Like, even like when addressing a gossip, man, you know, you gotta, if there's a ringleader, start out with the ringleader. Who said it, Dirty? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then you go start out the conversation with them. Like, you find a ringleader, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta do it in front of everybody. Don't bust nobody out. You too big for that. We too mature for that. I'm gonna put you to the side. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna privately have a conversation. And DJ Right, it can go two ways. They can understand, or you could just escalate the situation more. And, you know, we try not to condone no violence. Yeah. So I'd rather de-escalate the situation before it escalate. You know what I'm saying? And let me be transparent about that. So if I'm saying, hey, Dirty, look, man, I heard you saying, like, whoop about me. Like, man, what's up with that? Okay, but, man, like, that was foul and that hurt my feelings, Dirty. Like, we could have had a conversation about that. Like, that was something that I told you in confidence because I trusted you. So now, you know, I ain't gonna never look at you the same again. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gotta be enemies. I'm still not gonna disrespect you, because you could be like, man, I got too much going on for me to even be worried about you. But I just know what type of person you is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of dude, even when it's super low down, I forgive you, but I'm just not gonna deal with you. Mm-hmm. I'm not, because I don't have to. It's foul, man. It's foul. And that sucks on like so many different levels, man. It sucks because it shouldn't have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why whoever said it, I address them first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then like they're always gonna say what such and such said, or he said that, but they're never gonna say what they said. And I agree with DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the type of people who would throw a stone or throw a rock and hide their hand. Yep. And to get everybody else going.
Yeah, like Al, have you ever had like a experience where like you was either in the situation where you got gossiped about, or was you the person that actually like was involved in gossip in it, and explain if you was?
Well, I'm gonna explain it like this, and this will be like my final thought.
Okay.
You know, I've been involved in a lot of situations in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like when you ain't even trying to look for no altercation, it happens, right?
Yes.
So like my thing is like, I try to give out less gossip as possible. I don't try to say nothing about nobody. I be transparent. you know what I'm saying, I be an active listener because, like I said, you got to listen to whatever's going on around you. You need to get away from it. Address the conflict, but be respectfully when you're doing it. And just knowing your audience, man, just knowing who the people that you can deal with and who you can't deal with. And that's all you really got to do.
Yeah. And like for my final thought is basically just don't gossip at work, man. Like, because you don't know nowadays who to trust, and you don't know like what people intentions are when it comes down to like giving out information. So you kind of want to keep your information to yourself.
Most definitely. And then you can find us on the Alan and DJ fan page at Alan and DJ fan page at Facebook. Yeah, you can find us on Alan and DJ's Gmail. And you can email us there. Let us know what you want us to talk about next. You can find me at Alan Hutchinson on Instagram and Facebook. And you can look up William J. Smith on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, stay out of gossip. Keep your name clear. Stay well, stay healthy.
Peace.
Yeah.